Assalamu alaikum, Gulrin. Can you hear me?
Walaikum assalam. Yes, yeah, I can hear.
Thank you so much, Gulrin, for joining. It's a great pleasure that you are actually doing a session with us. Just to inform everyone that Dr. Gulrin actually has been working with IBS Akhar and has been working on ASER data sets also for a very long time. And it's our honor that he has taken out this time to conduct this session for all of us so that we can understand the power of ASER, the power of the data, how it can be used for analysis, and how it can generate meaningful findings. Over to you, Dr. Gulrin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Sahar Saeed and all colleagues. I hope you all are fine. So should I start with my presentation, Sahar?
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Okay, let me share my screen. I hope is it visible to everyone now? So today we are going to discuss from data to discovery using ASER for academic research and policy insights. As already mentioned, I'm Dr. Gulrind and I'm assistant professor at Sakkaribi University and I have a PhD from Miami University. So I have a few research articles on ASER data. That's why I think my talk can be helpful. So there's a big question, why we use ASER data for policy research in education. I believe ASER Pakistan is one of the largest open access household survey, like other big surveys, OECD, TALIS, and other surveys which help, and a lot of publications are coming from these surveys. But I can see we are under utilizing ASER data for our research purpose. So there's a lot of opportunity we will discuss in later. Compared to other survey, ASER is more robust, captures several dimensions, including family, socioeconomic status, students' achievements, based on different regions, including provinces, districts. That's why ASER has a strong representative and heterogeneous data. Mostly in our research, we have a problem with sampling because mostly our data doesn't capture all dimension, but ASER has that kind of abilities to capture these all dimension. And survey questionnaires are well tested and well designed. That's why there is a lot of reliability of questionnaire and data. And data is also more convenient, and they are already cleaned. And all variables in ASER data are well coded, but one can recode it based on his or her own convenient. What are the possible research areas where we can get help from ASER data? I think student dropout based on several groups, including region, gender, class. So ASER data can help a lot. A student who never been to a school, mostly the data from Pakistan Institute of Education PI or SAMIS data of different provinces. They only consider students who are in school, but ASER data also help to see students who are even out of school, so their learning also being explained through ASER data. ASER data normally used in student learning in language. It is English, arithmetic, math, and general knowledge. So this data also help us to compare different schools, like a public school, private school, even foundation school. We can also call it public-private partnerships, madrasas, and other types of schools. Uh, Household socioeconomic condition and their relationship with kids learning. So ASER data help. School governance, teachers qualification and professional development. ASER data also help. So these are some possible research areas. There are some other areas which can be seen after looking at ASER data handbook. So how to apply the ASER survey in our research study. So first thing, there should be broad research question in mind to use the data. For example, in my research paper, I was interested to see how much family socioeconomic condition contribute in students' learning inequality, because I see in Pakistan there are a lot of inequality in learning. Some students are getting good results, some students are getting poor. So I was interested how much family socioeconomic condition contribute. So that kind of questions help to see ASER data. What is the contribution of private school as well as paid tuition in creating inequality? Because we discussed a lot inequality in education, but sometimes we have to go in deeper and see things in nuance. So based on these questions, so ASER data help to answer. So yeah, data usage based on research questions. So after a research question, we have to see data. We have to merge different data sets using SPSS, other software. For example, ASER have a different data sets based on household data set, based on children data set, based on school types. So we have to merge if we want to see relationship between these different variables. So then we can also disaggregate this data based on gender, based on region, based on school type and other heterogeneity. Sometimes we also split large data sets. Let's suppose a data set is based on entire country Pakistan. We want to see specific provinces like Punjab or Sindh or Balochistan. Then we have to split data set. And we can also recode data based on certain variables. Let's suppose we want to generate new variables. There is also option. If you want to see specific region impact, so that is so split and recoding help. You may also recode data and generate new variable as per your wish. You can see the effect of one variable on other variable by also controlling some external variable. Let's suppose someone want to see the impact of mother education on student learning. Then one can control also other variables like father education, like household, other conditions. So these data set really help. After looking at these data sets, then what researcher do, they should have a supported literature based on research question. So what one can do, bring relevant literature or similar studies around the world, because ASER data is mainly focused on K to 12 education. So we have to see data sets of school education, mostly from primary to grade 12. For example, socioeconomic condition and learning outcomes in developed countries, maybe USA, as well as low-income countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, or other African countries. So we can see patterns of different learning outcomes of. So there are a lot of literature. So this literature quite help to bring to make good discussion in literature as well as later part. We can also get literature on secondary data analysis in education. For example, HLS survey, which is mostly done in USA, OECD survey, TALIS survey about teachers. And we have also see some relevant journals, for example, International Journal of Education Development, Comparative Education, Journal of Education Policy. These journals are very relevant, and they are also they are incorporating these big issues related to education policies and student outcomes. So these are some tips for searching literature. Another thing is connecting research question with some theoretical or conceptual framework that really help to support making good study guide, as well as also help in explaining the results of the data. For example, there are some major theories which can be applied based on ASER data: equity in education, social justice theory, critical race theory. Maybe some researcher from India and other countries, they use that theory as well. Policy enactment theory of Stephen Ball. So like a policy design somewhere and how schools uh, get that policies. So these theories are very somehow very contested as well as broad. So again, we have to go in deeper, see like which dimension of that theory work. Let's suppose in my study, I selected equity in education theory, but there was different dimension of equity. Some people believe equality based on or equity based on meritocracy. Some believe in minimum standard. Some believe in redistribution. Some believe in equality of condition. But I selected impartiality, where education should be available for everyone beyond their background or their social status. So I used assess data based on while applying that impartiality theory of equality. So after applying that query, then you have to see which data analysis works better for your study. So mainly ASER data is survey based and it's a quantitative data analysis works. We have to develop uh, descriptive statistics. We need to learn somehow cross tabulations, which help to divide variables in different groups. Maybe we go some next level logistic regression, because ASER data is not continuous, so logistic regression works better for categorical data. Uh, there are some variables like student learning outcome. They are in a 4 or 5 parts, like from below to higher level, but one can recode these variable based on their own convenient. So if you are comparing different years, or you can use quasi experiment, like a different in different approach. Or if you are using longitudinal data of different years and want to compare historical trends of student learning, so that ASER is open access, so one can download data sets of different year as well. What I believe, ASER data also works better in mixed method study if time and resources allow. After using based on ASER secondary data, one can go and see in-depth analysis of certain districts or certain province, while going for qualitative data like interviews or observation of some schools or some regions. So ASER data quite really help. There are some practical advice for researcher and students. I believe, even I also tell my students, rather than developing own data collection tools, there are a lot of chances of mistakes. Better to rely on ASER data, and it's very robust. ASER data of Pakistan and other countries, including if you want to compare some other countries, we can also have a comparative data of other countries, because ASER data is based on 7 countries, I guess, to make broader comparison and also save time, money, and resources. Before going to see data sets, one have to read ASER reports, I think, which they publish not yearly, but after every 2 years or whatever they have time frame. So one have to read, because that help a lot to get ideas and generate research question. And let us see what kind of statistical tests or tools works to respond your question. Maybe sometime descriptive work, sometime we can go inferential statics or other tools. Learn basic statistical analysis like cross tabulations, advanced statistic like regression analysis. I think Julian Palin book is very helpful to learn to understand SPSS and basic statistical analysis. So these are few related research on ASER Pakistan. I think Amjad and McLeod in 2014, they have published very excellent article in the Journal of International Journal of Education Development. Nadia Siddiqui also published in same journals what we do know about children access to school and their learning outcome in Pakistan. And my paper with Dr. Kamran Malik, we have also published in Journal of Equity in Education Society. So these research articles also help to if some new researcher want to see how to make a good paper based on research journal. So thank you for listening. I think I should spend more time to responding questions from audience rather than telling. So Sahar, I'm done from my parts. If there are any questions, feel free to ask and allow participants if they have any questions. Hello. uh, if if sir is not there, so I can allow participant, they can ask question.
Thank
And
you, Gulsab. I followed your work before as well, so this was quite helpful. I have a few questions though. For someone who's starting out as a researcher or a student, तो what are the few things कि आप बोलोगे भाई पहली बार आपने असर का डेटा सेट खोला है तो
Mhm,
आपके नज़दीक are there any templates or are there any techniques or are there any replication models कि जिसको देख के बंदा कहे भाई because oftentimes as a student when you're cleaning your data set you don't realize if you're making a mistake. So how
mhm.
would you recommend that a student or a young researcher knows he or she is on the right track when they are cleaning the set for data analysis aage jaake?
Yeah, very good question, Adil. First of all, for young researcher or students, I think they should have a good research questions in mind, what they are going to measure, or they are going to see for future audience, like what kind of contribution they have based on ASA data. Later, one can get help from statistician from their universities, because even in my research paper, when I was developing, I got help from statistician. So I had a research question, I have idea, but sometimes I feel whether my data set is quite reliable, whether that, let's suppose we are generating p values, whether that's really significant, how can we explain it better. So, but good thing is ASER data is already cleaned. I think you need not to worry to remove something from ASER data, so they are already clean. But again, for new researcher, they may get help from statistician. Those are someone who know how to work with data sets. But again, first thing, you should have a good research question in your mind, then go for relevant data, and also relevant literature. Did it help, Adil?
Yeah, thank you about that. Um,
Thank you. Any other one? Is there any?
are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
No, I'm asking Sahar. I think she's not there.
No, I'm there. I'm there, Abdul. I'm really sorry. I was having a problem with my mic earlier, but I'm there.
Glad you are here. Thank you. So, sir, I just prepared presentation. I thought I should not be monologue. I should finish early, and then there could be a more discussion. So if you facilitate, and it would be
TK, I
quite
have
helpful.
another question for you, sir. Because you work in the education policy and research space, कौन सी themes या कौन से questions हैं आपके ख्याल में जिसके लिए असर बहुत thoroughly underutilized है कि जिस पे पाकिस्तान में हम within the community education analysis या education research education policy वाली community they're not leveraging ASER enough. Are there any particular questions or themes? For example, I know climate change pe ASER has come out with a few parameters in the past few years, but other than that, कोई इस तरह की चीज है जो आपको लगता है as researchers we're not making enough use of ASER, and secondly, ASER can also incorporate these themes which it does not do right now. तो ये दो मिले जुले
Yeah,
question.
yeah, that's very helpful question. I believe ASER really captures those students who were never surveyed in our official datas, like administrative datas, like those children who belongs to very far-flung areas, like even ASER now have added transgender students in their surveys, and very few research, very few study. I think there been any study based which covered transgender education, transgender students, as well as minority students, those who are marginalized, some are other ways, but also not coming in our survey. But ASER fortunately capturing these data as well. So if someone want to contribute really something new in research, so ASER data will really helpful. Uh, other are common areas like paid tuition, which is one of the factor also less explored. It's also emerging in Pakistan. People, there's a shadow education, like parents spend a lot of money on their kids home tutoring, uh, but SR data also help to explain that phenomena as well, like how much it create inequality as well as. And there are some other dimension like private schools, foundation schools, madrasas. We have to also bring these types of school in our research. So ASER data is quite helpful. And there are, I think, variables are very uh, already there, and they are well coded in ASER data sets. So the question is, one should have a good literature as well as theoretical framework.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions or comments?
Dr. Gulred, if there's any other recent work that you would like to talk about, any current work that you are currently working on, apart from the ASER data set, if you're using for comparative analysis, any other one that you think that can explain the learning challenges here in Pakistan? There was a there were a DEPIC study also where the ASER data was quoted, just to try to share, the power of the other data sets together with ASER, how they can actually, make a meaningful difference and how those can be utilized to actually produce a good quality paper. We can also speak about it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir. Recently, because I got my postdoctoral fellowship and I have a developed proposal, so I also submitted for one grant but couldn't succeed. So I'm also comparing ASER data with other data sets like a TALIS survey, and one survey is also developed by our colleague. She's in the University of Texas, Austin, Huria Jabbar. So I also used her survey tools to look the like a low-cost private schools, which is emerging phenomena in Pakistan. So I see ASER has also capturing private schools. So I'm also comparing ASER data set with these surveys. Even I'm also trying to use OECD survey as well. So they have a very good questionnaire, same like ASER survey has. So I want to see some other countries' phenomena as well as Pakistan, how low-cost private school is emerging in Pakistan. So ASER data will quite be helpful. But I am also interested to go for qualitative data, qualitative interview. But for quantitative, at least ASER is there, so it has saved my lot of energy as well as resources, I can say. So, sir, I think, did I respond your question?
Absolutely, absolutely. Is there any other question? Do we have any other question from the audience? I think there's.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Sorry, joined a bit late. I wanted to know that currently the main area that Pakistan is looking at is foundational literacy. And the other very important area that ASER data, I think, can inform us is that inclusivity and disability that is not addressed. So have you had a chance to look at the data from that reference?
Very good question. I think, sir, I think you are very relevant to respond foundational literacy, if you feel to respond.
Dr. Naidoo, thank you so much for posing this question actually. So, just to let you know about the current efforts that we are doing here in ITA, we do collect the information on foundation literacy, as you know. And I think that we mark ourselves as the pioneer ones to actually, come up with the data set that are actually targeting foundation literacy and numeracy across Pakistan. This time around, as a 2025 will be actually the not only the biggest, but also the representative sample, which is going to be calculated for us by Pakistan Bureau of Statistics, So earlier we used to have two separate reports, one for national urban and one for national rural. But this time around, we are going to be producing one composite one. So that is going to be one single data set that can be used for, as I was saying, the challenge of the foundation literacy and numeracy amongst kids going to school, not going to school, both of them. That is going to be our, you can say, contribution. Apart from that, this time around, by the way, ASER is also piloting second generation tools through with support from PAL network. So you see, we have done that in the past, the International Common Assessment for Numeracy tool, the ELENA tool. They're all second generation tools that are pegged to Global Proficiency Framework, and they are drafted by Australian Council of Education Research and with PAL network. And we have the first ones actually, very few of the countries across the globe are doing that, and we are the first ones here in Pakistan also that have piloted both ICANN and ELENA. And by different iterations, now PAL has also adopted a third tool, which is ICANN, which is a combination of both. It is called ICANN iCare. It's also measuring social and emotional learning. Along with that, it's also targeting literacy and numeracy. So it's kind of a complete tool mapped to global proficiency framework, also being conducted nationwide here in Pakistan this time in 2025. So this year we'll be producing 2 data sets. One is ASER 2025, already mapped to the local, the national our own framework here, and also we are going to be producing and other data set, which is iCare one, with support from PAL network, and that is also going to be providing results on the challenges of foundation literacy amongst children. So yes, thank you very much.
And that's
Thank you
great
very
because
much.
you
I
have
really
both.
look forward to seeing that data set because really interested in looking at both. And I think you've also developed a new framework. So is that available on the net?
It's not available on the net at the moment, but I will get it uploaded very soon, Dr. Nais. I will do it.
Thank you very much. Thanks. We'd love to have a look at that. The new framework that you were developing, I did hear about that. So would love to see that.
Absolutely. I will share it with you as well. If it's not uploaded online, I'll make sure that I'll email that to you personally. But thank you.
Because the national consultancy is currently happening for foundation literacy and others which I'm a part of. So I'd like to, if it's available, we can definitely inform those policy documents that we are developing currently, the assessment policies for these levels. So thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Is there any other question for Dr. Gurren? I think there are none. Dr. Gulrain, it would be lovely if you can also share your closing remarks. What should, how the current students who are actually, going to be looking at this entire masterclass session, what is actually there for them? What do you think is what do you think that how such sessions which are targeting, the information where we are actually trying to equip the young students to actually know about such initiatives that are being conducted in Pakistan, and then in what capacity they can be utilized, and what can be generated if they are correct, if they're used correctly, what can be the message for the people actually who are listening to this, what should be the end result, and how they can, how such sessions can help in informing them in what they're doing currently. That would be lovely.
Yeah, no, that's very, very relevant question. I believe being a teacher as well as I consider myself a student, because when I was doing my PhD, I was working on one software like SPSS, where we were working to analyze different data sets. So in USA, they were using HLS survey, but I was using ASER data set because that was also helpful. Students, even if they are learning, if they want to see relationship between two variables, they want to even learn basic descriptive statistics, ASER data set really help, because they have already data sets. They are in Excel form, I guess, but they can convert in SPSS or other Strata software. So that's also helpful. Another thing, I think, sir, you might have not uploaded a code book in your website, but that code book is really helpful because a student will see the variables, different variables, and then they can make mind like which variable can work with, like they can correlate or something, or they can feel, let's suppose there is a variable school types and there is a variable student learning outcome, there is a variable or student learning in math or in a general knowledge, so they can also see relationship between schools types like private, public, and student learning. So so ASER data is also very good to play with, I guess. So students should look at it, and and it's easy and open access. I think now it's available on website. Yesterday I have downloaded. Before yesterday I just emailed you for data set, but now I think it's open access. So it's quite helpful. Even I recommend teachers, if they are teaching basic data analysis, ask a student to download as a data set and to work on it. Uh, so
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Gulren, for actually, for such an inspiring session also, and, also taking the question and explaining what you've been doing with us. The coding manual also is uploaded on the website, by the way, under the data statistics section. We are actually trying to upgrade our website every now and then. Also working on the dashboard where you can actually, try to triangulate different for different years, for different indicators. So we're actually working on that. We have just last year we developed an ASER application so that if the ASER has to be conducted on the app instead of a pen and paper, that can also be useful and can helpful. So this time around we're also using that. So couple of things that we are trying to every now and then we are trying to actually improve ourselves and try to take on
yeah.
take up the recommendations that are provided to us through
Yes.
you also that so many people actually are now working with the data set. And it has been helpful to so many that now actually we are trying to reach out to everyone and try to build this community and work forward. So thank you so much for actually taking the time out for today.
Sir, just one thing I want to add more for
Absolutely, go ahead.
this is especially for students. Like in Pakistan, if you go some other data set other than PSLM survey, which is very good, but which is also very complex. But if they go for other data set, mostly they see PI survey, or even like I'm from Sindh Education Management Information Survey. These surveys are like they don't show any relationship between variables, so it's very tough to make any good research paper based on this survey. But I can surely say ASER data will help if someone is interested to develop good research paper. So that's why I believe it's more robust and more reliable, as well as valid. So that's my few words.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gulraj, for actually, for saying such nice things about us and also about our power of the data set. Thank you very much. We're extremely grateful to you for your time. And inshallah, hopefully there are 2 more sessions left, one on communication and the other on how we can actually make good infographics with the support from ASER datasets, and we'll be conducting those as well. And the information will be posted on our social media channels. But thank you so much, Dr. Gulraj. Dr. Gulraj's session will also be uploaded on the website so that you can hear it out afterwards. But thank you very much to those who have joined, and thank you, sir, for actually taking the time out today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.